Hi! So, as I said in my previous video, or one of my last videos, I filmed like 4 today and I'm not sure what order they're going up, but I mentioned that I'm going to start reviewing a lot more books on this channel. Rather than kind of reviewing them on my blog, I'm going to start reviewing them on my channel instead, because if I have books where I just find it easier to talk about the books that I'm reading, then it's just easier just to turn on the camera and make a quick video about it. So that's what I'm doing now. So today I'm going to talk about these gorgeous books, Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. These are the first books I've read by Alice Oseman. I haven't read anything by her before. I just adjusted the camera because I was standing in a really weird position. So if it's changed, that's why. Anyway, continue with normal service. These were the first things I've read by her, and I just loved them so much. So I just thought I'd quickly go through some of my thoughts on these books. I took them to Yelp with me and I got both of them signed. Over the past year or so, I've kind of gathered a lot of graphic novels. I read my first ones last year. I did a whole blog post on it because graphic novels was something that I hadn't read that much of before, so I decided I was going to give them a go and try reading more of them. And these I've now added to my collection, and I just love them. They're so good. Let's talk about the first one. So these are about Nick and Charlie, who go to the same school. Charlie is a little bit younger than Nick. He is, I think, maybe like 1 or 2 years below him in school. And it's basically about their relationship and how they meet and how they kind of end up getting together as a kind of secret couple without telling people. But they're also trying to come to terms with the fact that I think Charlie knows he's gay, but Nick doesn't. I think, or maybe he knows he's bisexual, I can't remember. My memory is like a sieve, I'm sorry, but it's just about them kind of coming to terms with the fact that neither of them have really done relationships with other guys before, and I think for Charlie it's his first relationship, and then for Nick it's his first relationship like with another boy. So they've both got big things to come to terms with, and it's all about them just trying to deal with these, like, all these truths that they're figuring out about themselves, and it's done in pretty graphic novel form. So Alice Oseman's style is like this, where it's all kind of monochrome, black and white comics, and it's a style that I don't think is very common. Like, most graphic novels that I've read are coloured, so it's really interesting just to see a black and white one instead. Like, I really like the style of it, it's really cool. The thing that I love about this is the themes and like all the kind of the issues with sexuality and like all of their thoughts about sexuality are so real. Like, their relationship is just so real, and the way that it builds up is so realistic. I feel like a lot of young adult relationships can fall into that trap of being a bit cliche, and things just happen so quickly that I don't know. I don't really, as soon as a young adult book has romance in it, I'm always a little bit kind of put off. And that's just me. I'm not a big like romantic person, so this dealt with it in a way that I loved, because it's just, neither of them really know what they're doing. Neither of them have very much experience, if any. And I just really loved seeing how their relationship just kind of built up over the weeks that we see on the page in this. So I think I read this in maybe like 45 minutes or something. Like, I read both of these books within an hour and a half. Comics are so fast to read, and I think it's why I love them, because if you're not in the mood to read a full book, a comic or a graphic novel is so easy just to kind of get through really quickly. And I think these kind of helped get me out of this huge reading slump I was in, and now I can't stop reading books. So I thank these for that. So number 2, obviously Nick and Charlie are together by this point, and it's just so cute. Just so cute. Like, it's just, they're just so adorable, and I love them, and I just want to give them a massive hug. And everyone who is obsessed with Nick and Charlie, I don't blame them in the slightest, because they're just so adorable. Like, Alice Oseman is so good at just writing such adorable relationships. And I think it all just comes down to the fact that they're so real and they're so kind of slow burning, and they don't instantly fall head over heels in love with each other. It's just so slow, and like, if I am ever to read any sort of romance in a book, this is the kind that is great, because it's just like real. Yeah, I just love them. See, this is the kind of thing that shows why I shouldn't write a review on my blog, because the whole thing would just be like, oh my god, they're so adorable. Yeah, like this one sees them kind of meeting each other's families and meeting each other's friends, which I loved, like especially the difference in each of their friendship groups, and like seeing them meet each other's friends. And I just love it. There's a trans character, there's like all sorts of LGBT characters, there's like, I feel like anyone who reads these books could see themselves in at least one of the characters. Like, there's somebody in these books that I feel like anyone could be reflected in. So yeah, like there were some characters that I definitely kind of relate a lot of my feelings and stuff to. So yeah, I just love them. I just love them a lot. One thing I love that she does with her books, that Alice Oseman does with her books, is the content at the back. Like, it's really cool. There's things like their clothes, like there's outfits and they're all labelled, and then there's like letters to each other, or like diaries that they do, and it's just cool to like read their diary entries and see what they're writing about. And then you also get like these little character cards with like their character bios, and they each write like their Myers-Briggs personality type and their sexuality and their Hogwarts house, which is so cool. Like, I always love to try and put characters in their Hogwarts houses and try and like figure out what they would be. So she's done this for us. Like, she's put all of them into Hogwarts houses, which I just appreciate. That's so cool. And then in the second book there's also a little mini comic involving a couple of the other characters that I just love. Like, I hope to read more about them in the upcoming editions. So volume 3, I'm not sure when it's out, but it's not out yet. You can also read the comic online. I'll link to it in the description. You can read the whole thing online. I'm kind of debating at the moment whether I wait for the next volume of this to come out or whether I read the comics online. Like, I'm trying to decide if I'd rather just wait and read it as a book or whether I just catch up online. But I'll have to see what I end up doing. So there you go, those are my kind of very vague, all over the place thoughts about these books, because they're just adorable and they're just cute, and sometimes you just need books that you don't have to think too hard about. You don't have to they just, I don't know, the themes aren't massively heavy. Like, they're very real and important themes, but they're not ones that you really have to kind of like dig into your soul. They're just so nice to read and they're just so easy. So if you're in the mood for something really light and fun, then you should read Heartstopper. So let me know what some of your favourite graphic novels are. Like, I'd love to read more. I've got a bit of a collection building up. Again, let me know if you'd love to see what graphic novels I have. Like, it would be cool to film like a graphic novel collection. Let me know if that's something you're interested in. I will see you soon. Bye!